Afternoon. What can I do for you?
I need to buy a gun.
I have a hot take about being unemployed and finding a job in 2023. I really hope my dad doesn't see this. I have been unemployed since November of 2022, and we are now in August of 2023. I've been working in human resources for 5 years, and I have applied to literally a million jobs. No matter how many jobs I apply to, getting a job feels impossible. The reality is we are in a recession right now, and while it may not feel that way to some people, it definitely feels like that with like all of the inflation, you know? My hot take is literally just wait till things blow over. And I'm not saying be lazy, stop looking, just throw in the towel altogether. I'm saying that you can keep looking, but unless you know somebody or you're like super qualified, there is like a 9 out of 10 chance that you are not getting the job. I literally had an interview last week and they eventually got back to me and they're like, sorry, you're overqualified. What? I have never been overqualified for anything in my life. Fast forward to my dad. My dad calls me today and he goes, so this came up on my LinkedIn, head of marketing. Would that be something you can do? Oh my God. I literally go, no. I work in human resources. I literally have no corporate experience in a marketing department. I'm not even qualified for an entry-level position in marketing. He basically says like, extend yourself, just apply, you never know, la la la. I don't know if it's like an older generation thing. Part of it is like he just believes in me. The other part is I'm being lazy, maybe. To say if you're unemployed, you've been unemployed, you've just gotten laid off, like effort is valid. And if there's a day or two where you sit and like the day goes by and you've not really felt like productive or accomplished, like don't beat yourself up because things will eventually blow over and you will eventually find a job. This is also just like a pep talk for me. So if anybody works in human resources and is hiring, hi, call me.
Never mind, never mind, never mind. I have to laugh. I'm sorry. This is so ridiculous.
How bad can I be? How bad could I possibly be? Let's see.
If you think your company might be doing layoffs, here's a resource that you should know about. There is what is called a warn list, and employers are supposed to submit to the unemployment agency of the state and let them know that they're doing layoffs. So you can Google warn list, your state, the year, and you can get this beautiful Excel spreadsheet that you can download and filter. I've actually used this list to recruit, and you're thinking, why didn't you know your company was laying people off? And there are stipulations that a company may or may not fit in order to be required to submit to this list. So
everybody's so creative. See how that looks like we probably wasn't supposed to do that, but we did. There's no other reason you would do it that way. See how it looks like you probably wouldn't want to see that, but you're seeing it here.
So I just got laid off. The job I've been at for the past almost 4 years. And I debated posting this on the internet because I don't talk about my job on the internet. That's not what this channel is. Like, I don't even think most of you even really know what industry I'm in. But I see my TikTok page as like a scrapbook of this era of my life. And I know that I'm gonna wanna keep this as like a little time capsule of like this moment, you know? And it's also really funny because the way that I reacted was so much different than what I like expected to. I expected to be like very, very upset. And yet when it was happening, I felt like an overwhelming sense of peace and like comfort. And like, I felt like this was what was supposed to happen, which is really interesting because I'm like, what is coming that my body is telling me like, don't worry, like this is not a big deal, you know, which is pretty exciting. I don't know. I'm kind of excited. The funny part is I don't have a laptop anymore because since I've been there for 4 years, I don't own a personal laptop. And so in the meeting while I was getting laid off, I dropped the Girls Who Cluster website. Because I just wasn't sure if I could do it on my phone. And so while they were laying me off, I was dropping the Girls Who Cluster website to sell the stickers. And I did notice some of you spotted I did do it 15 minutes early. If Girls Who Cluster is ever huge, I get to say the day I launched the website and our first product, I was getting laid off in the same moment that I launched the website and the first product. But anyway, I'm going to go buy myself a little treat, a little laid off treat, if you will. Because even though this company didn't value the 4 years I spent there, I valued the 4 years I spent there, and I'm so proud of myself and the work that I did there. And I don't know, I think that I deserve a little treat to like mark the beginning of this new chapter. So I'll definitely show you guys that after I get it. And I need to somehow acquire a new laptop, even though I don't have money anymore. Go buy the Girls Who Cluster stickers, please. That's my lifeline at this point. But yeah, if anyone's going through something similar, you know, I'm here with you. We got this. Better things are coming. I'll see you guys later.
I know what you're thinking, and the answer is no. We are not having layoffs. Get that idea out of your heads. It couldn't be further from the truth. However, we do have a new initiative to optimize the workforce. And this is coming directly down from the board, so it's going to be for the greater good. There's going to be some changes along the way, but we're not having any layoffs. We're just mapping capacity to demand. So will some roles get eliminated along the way? Absolutely. But we're definitely not having any layoffs. What questions do you have?
So it happened. I got laid off. No, I'm like dead ass. Like, I don't know why I'm laughing. I just don't know how to act. I just got a meeting invite with my manager and the HR. I searched up like things to ask, like what do people usually ask when they get laid off. So I feel like I was pretty prepared for that exact moment. Kind of weird to see like my manager being like super professional and really not showing any emotions. It honestly feels like a breakup. That's one-sided. I didn't lose access to everything like right away. I have all my benefits until like end of August. And then my severance starts after that. I honestly don't know who got laid off or like which teams got laid off. I think it's still happening this week. When this happened, I just really didn't know like who I should call, if I should message my coworker. Literally couldn't think of anyone to like run to. I didn't tell my parents yet. I'll always tell them by the time this is uploaded. I hope the job market is just not trash right now. Obviously, this is the first time it's happened to me. This is my first job. Like, I don't know what I'm supposed to do, but I definitely should have worked on my portfolio, but I didn't.
Companies are absolutely lying about additional waves of layoffs. It will be very sneaky. A lot of times it's not like a flat out lie, but they'll try to like call it something different, like trimming the fat, restructuring. Something happened to me where the company that I was working for went for 2 rounds of layoffs. And at the second round of the layoff, they refused to call it a second round of the layoff. It was just an extension of the first layoff, because when doing the first round of layoffs, thinking that people would just naturally leave, and they said, oh, since no one's hiring, that didn't happen. First off, big tech companies are not hiring, but there's tons of technical roles out there. Just want to make that clear. Second thing is, it's a second round of layoffs. I don't understand the difference between the semantics. I just wanted to say that there are some like shady stuff going on. I don't know if it really like truly affects like your day-to-day life, but I just want you to be aware of it.
Come with me to get laid off.
I'm gonna say some things I really don't want to right now, but if it's okay, I'm gonna get started. Unfortunately, as an organization, we need to take steps to increase our focus and cut costs, and so we've made the incredibly difficult decision to conduct layoffs, and I'm very sorry, but your employment terminated as part of these layoffs. Today will be your last day of work. We appreciate your service and effort during the time with us. Very grateful for the work that you've done together and the contributions that you've made to our team. Do you have any questions around severance or offboarding at all?
So I had a coworker get laid off recently, and they called me and told me what happened. This coworker and I were both marketers at a company that has had several previous rounds of layoffs in the last year. This coworker and I didn't work super closely together, but she was a senior level marketer. So she was in the same org as me, and we met like once a week during team meetings. So she's very senior and she has a very critical role and had been part of the company for several years. I asked her what happened. I was pretty surprised because I had heard this company had multiple rounds of layoffs earlier in the year, and I was surprised because I hadn't heard anything recently. She told me that the company was so upset about the Glassdoor and some of the blind postings that they were getting about the mass layoffs that they had done, that they decided they were going to start laying off smaller groups of people as to not get any sort of negative media attention. So she was one of about 5 people who got laid off recently. So when she was told that her role was redundant and it was part of a small group of folks who were no longer needed because of restructuring need, her manager asked her, "So how do you want to message this to people?" And she didn't really know what he meant. She was like, "I will just be honest that I got laid off." And her manager has the audacity to say that they're really worried about the impact that her layoff will have on the rest of the team, the folks who remain. So they would prefer if she messaged it like she just wanted to take some time off and be with her family, or she's exploring other pursuits. They literally asked a marketer to position her own layoff. Absolutely insane. And if any company does this to you, just know that you should probably leave a very honest Glassdoor review and let other people know what's happening.
So I was laid off yesterday and I just can't stop crying and I just keep thinking about it. 6:30 a.m. My alarm went off. I normally don't wake up that early, but I actually set my alarm for 6:30 because I was trying to make myself shower before work. Didn't end up happening anyways, but I was trying to be hopeful. I checked my phone and I had an email stating that I had an urgent meeting at 8:30. So immediately I'm kind of freaking out. I try to go back to sleep. I'm tossing and turning. I hear my phone vibrate again and I check it. It's one of my coworkers telling me that a bunch of people have been laid off and telling me supervisors that have been laid off. So immediately I just know that's what it is. I can't go back to sleep. So until 8, I'm just pretty much laying there, just anxious, thinking about what the fuck I'm gonna do, right? 8 o'clock happens, I clock into work. I want to actually try to work for 30 minutes in case I'm not laid off, right? So, you know, what if I'm not laid off and then I just spent 30 minutes not actually working? I don't know. So I work 2 cases and I'm just a mess. I can't do it. My team has a group Zoom, so I go in there and we're just talking and I'm pretty much telling them I think I'm going to be laid off. We're just reminiscing and talking. So I go into the meeting and they hit me with, "We have some devastating news. Your position is being moved to Mexico." I already knew it was coming, but it just hit me. They tell me it has nothing to do with your performance, which I know. I'm a good employee and I know that, but it's still really hard to hear. It takes all of 4 minutes. I'm told I have an hour to get personal things off my computer, say goodbye to everyone, and then that's it. I was there for 4 years. I was an extremely hard worker. I was extremely fucking loyal. I survived layoffs during COVID. Doesn't matter.
The job market is so brutal, and these recruiters, man, they're not making it any less hard. I just had a recruiter ask me about my experience, and I said I don't have any. And she was like, "You've been graduated from college for how long?" Like, yeah, I've been out for 2 years, and I can't get a job where I want to because I don't have any experience, because no one will hire me without experience, even though you're all saying it's fucking entry level and not a livable wage. And I just want someone to give me a chance, and for recruiters to not be so rude about it. Come on, man. What am I supposed to do? I can't get experience if no one will give me a chance without experience. Like, we all know this. You don't have to be rude about it.